Hello and welcome Clashers. Thank you for stopping by. This is your host Anish and today we'll try to create a farming base. Now it will not be a speed build because there are a ton of such layouts out there already and they are good. What we'll try to do here is to create our own base. For that we first need to know what farming basically means. Well, farming is all about saving up resources and not caring much about the trophies. We'll try to avoid getting our resources in the hands of the attacker. So in this video, I'll try to provide some basic tips to build a good farming base. These tips will span across multiple Townhall levels and will specially be concentrated from Townhall 5 to 8. So let's get into this straight away. Firstly, farming base is opposite of a trophy base. We do not care about the trophies. We'll put all our defensive power to safeguard our resources. Resources include dark elixir, and gold, and their storages must be protected at any cost. That's what a farming base is all about. This kind of base helps in saving up resources for upgrades, which can actually get tiresome to complete otherwise. Let us first understand the most basic and important points. First and foremost, do not underestimate the attacker. Don't think he won't understand obvious traps and easy looking pathways. There are many kinds of attacks. Some are efficient ones like parching and bam, which are mainly collector raiding armies and rarely to go into the core of the base, unless they are really high level. Talking about the core of the base, a typical farming base can be divided into three main parts. The outer structures including collectors, barracks, army camps, etc. The first line of walls and defense, and the second line of wall and defense, which usually contains the storages as well. The second line is usually called the core of the base. There can be a third line of walls and defense also, but at Townhall 8 or 7 simply because at lower levels there aren't enough walls. Having talked about the structure of the base briefly, we must know that some armies are designed to go to the core of the base to get the Townhall or resources or both. Giant Healer, Go Vibe or Go VV are some examples of that kind of armies. Then there are aerial attacks like Mars Dragon, Lunian, Super Dragoon, Lava Lunian, etc. We need to protect our resources against these kind of armies mainly. So the first step is to put our Townhall aside. That would keep pushers at bay. Then centralize your clan castle, especially if you are in a good clan with donate troops regularly. That would make it hard to lure out the CC troops. Next up, do not bunch all the storages in one compartment. Space them out across different compartments. That way, attacker will have a less chance of going into the core and taking out all of your resources at once. Centralize your air defense as well. Giant Healer and most aerial attacks survive because of bad placement of air defense. Centralizing them will make them harder to destroy, which is quite obvious. The mortars and wizard towers are splash damage defenses and can take out a lot of troops in one go. Even with strong troops, provided that mortars are in second or third line of defense, it will eventually weaken them all. Your first line of defense should contain point defenses like cannons or archer towers which shoot one unit at a time. Mortars and air defense should be protected by point defenses, which will in turn protect storages. That way your point defense will shoot individual enemies while splash defense weakens them all. Wizard towers do not need to be centralized. They are great for weakening troops at the first line of defense itself. Your traps must not be around Townhall because that is plain stupid. They should ideally be inside the base to surprise the attacker. Place giant bombs and traps in the first line of defense. Put the Teslas, if any, in some weak looking spot protected by at least one line of walls. Also, don't bunch archer towers and cannons on all your defenses at one location to make it hard to attack. Attacker will simply not go from that side and will attack from the weaker side. Keep your defensive power equal on all sides. Think as the attacker and look for weaknesses in your base. No base is perfect. As you can see here, the defenses are spaced out and no defense is independent of other. All defenses have to work as one unit to avoid annexation of your base. Don't give utmost priority to dark elixir storage. You may lose out on gold and elixir. Put it in the safest place you think your base has and don't put all your traps around it. That makes it very obvious. Make it hard for attacker to choose any one side. Place air bombs and mines near wizard towers or mortars. Now I'll show you some bases of my clanmates. I've left the clan for the time being to prevent their traps from being seen. As you can see, all the storages are in different compartments and defenses are well spread out. It is the same with this base as well. Conclusively, you should definitely try to make a farming base on your own. It's fun and easier than you think. Do let me know how it goes in the comment section. That should wrap it up for today. If you have any more informative tips, please list them again in the comment section. I hope you like this episode and it will help you out in designing your own base. Stay tuned and clash on.